What's up, everyone? This is Antonio from Buckeye Nation. Going to be bringing you a war recap for the first time in what seems like forever. Since I've been gone, we've had quite a nice win streak going. We're at 19 wins right now, about to be 20 wins in about an hour or two, which is why I need to knock this recap out real quick before the war falls off our war log. But just a couple wins, I'll just show off. Our most notable win along the way that I haven't been able to put on the recap was against Cheeseheads here in the middle. It was for a potluck, and it was great because we finally had an even matchup. We've always had some lighter Town Hall 10s and 11s that we've been throwing in these potlucks, which doesn't really help, but it was pretty much a perfect matchup across the board, and we had a 1-star win over them and a little bit of a percentage. We also had a lot of small wars recently because we've been stocking up some people in the CWL recently and a couple other events. We were doing the MLCW for a while as well. But we're finally going to be doing full-size wars here soon. So recently we just faced War Addicts in a war, and it was a very close matchup with them. They're a pretty notable clan. We beat them by stars. They had a slight advantage on us in percentage. If you take a look at the war map, they weren't able to 2-star R1, which cost them the matchup, really. We did go into this with a slight advantage. We had 2 9.5s in war, and they didn't have any. However, they had a little bit higher heroes across the board, so I think that cancels out about one of the 9.5s, but we definitely did still have a little bit of an advantage coming into this war. Just a couple look at some of our guys. Our number 1, I kicked him immediately. Was his first war with us, and he refused to attack any of the Town Hall 10s, so he probably could have gotten an extra star in this war. We should have had, but he refused to attack anyone besides 1 and 2. Right after he attacked, I kicked him out. But we had a couple people like PG Fighter really helped us out this war with a 3-star and a Town Hall 10. Our number 2, Buckeye 80, who's our leader, he was able to 3-star 2 10s, did his job there. We had some 9s do a real good job. Like Jack of Blades had 2 3-stars. Reusser had a 6-pack. Dustin had a 6-pack. Menza did great. Magic and True Fighter. So I'm just going to show you some replays now. Start you off with, I'm just going to show you the comp basically that Buckeye 80 uses a lot in these matchups. He doesn't always use it, but it's a common one he'll use against Town Hall 10s. And people will try and replicate it a lot of times when we're in wars, and somehow they fail on it. He does a real good job, I'll give him that. It's kind of like a spam attack, but he always picks the right side to drop these troops on, and you go a little heavier on the corners with these bowlers, and usually have no problem with bases like this. When you're a Town Hall 11 dropping down on a 10, it's become pretty routine for a 3-star nowadays. Well, I mean, it has been for a while, but so I'm just gonna fast forward a bit through this. I think he doesn't even need to use his abilities on his heroes, on his AQ and Grand Ward. I'm not positive. We'll see in a minute. I guess he is going to have to use his AQ, but he doesn't need to use his Ward ability, and he just pummels the space pretty easily. So that's just mostly not to brag about, beating a Town Hall 10, although he does a great job, but it's just a great war comp. So this one really helped us out. PG Fighter against their number 6. It was, I believe, the only Town Hall 10 on 10 3-star between both sides this war. He has 2 accounts, both named PG Fighter. And the first account, he did this exact same attack, and he disconnected about 10 seconds and only got a 20%, which really could have cost us the war because we didn't know if that method was going to work. But what he's going to use is a stoned hobo on this base. Couple golems followed up with some bowlers right in this corner here, this corner pocket, and then he's going to drop bunch of hogs, and he's going to keep them together. A lot of times you disperse hogs, but on this, because that kill squad is so large and they're so distracting, it's good to keep them together. And this heal drop right here is just absolutely perfect. Prevents that giant bomb from messing with them, and he also takes out a second giant bomb by covering it with the heal. And he's going to drop the rest of his hogs right on this corner here. And he clears the space. He does a real good job clearing the space. Does it pretty easily. So he still has these bowlers working along here while they're focusing the defense's attention on this golem here in the corner. And fast forward through. Great attack. So now I will show Frozen Blade's attack. And he's going to use a similar comp that PG just used in the previous attack here. If I recall correctly, one thing I see right now that's a little bit of a mistake. If you're about to drop right in front of a clan castle, you should drop the poison first so they're immediately within that range of the poison, especially now that it has a larger radius. So he drops the poison a little late, but still gets through the space no problem. I believe if I recall correctly, his queen's going to walk on him in this attack. Yeah, she's going to start walking off to the side. He has bowlers going in the center here, along with his BK, which are going to focus the Teslas on him. But the rest of his troops are going to go off to the side here. Let's zoom out a bit. Sort of going to spam his hogs here, but it works out fine. This next heal drop is a very good one to prevent that whiz tower from taking him out. And he's going to cover this base. So nice attack by Frozen. Doesn't even need to use his AQ ability, but does anyway. So here's a replay by Magic, who is one of the few girls that we have in the clan. She's a very good attacker, uses this air strat a lot. What I see here is I probably would have used a baby dragon right here at this top section to use some funneling. But the whiz worked just fine. So she's able to keep everything central with a pretty wide funnel here. Gets her bowlers right in the center here. Although her queen does walk on her as well. But it's not going to be an issue for her. Takes out the two air defenses here along with the AQ. And uses a heal on his kill squad. Just going to poison this CC. She stacks the poisons, which is really the only mistake that I'm really seeing from the beginning, because stacking poisons doesn't cause additional damage. But there's a Tesla farm right here, and she's going to haste through it. I always like to have, when I do air attacks, at least 2 or 3 haste with me. And you see all these loons are in the red. I mean, they're about to drop any second. Luckily, there's a hound right in front of her, and thank God there's no more whiz towers. Otherwise, every single loon would have been knocked out. So if she hits an air bomb, then all the loons are going to collapse. And I think she does. I guess not. Oh yeah, she does hit an air bomb, and you see probably 10 loons just dropped right there in a ring, but still enough to clear out this base. Has these little pups taking on the BK. And she gets through it. So good job by Magic. Jack of Blades, I believe he had a 6-pack this war, so he had some nice attacks. He's going to go a little more old school with his attack. We've been using this style for a while. Haven't been using it as much recently with the emergence of air attacks again, or using them more readily. So she's going to use, or what he's going to do is use a queen walk at the bottom here, get some bowler walking at the top, and they're going to merge in the middle kind of. Well, the AQ is going to go towards the center, and then a kill squad of Valks and a BK. So the AQ is there to help out with knocking out that CC. And he's just going to get through this base, use some rages and heals on the Valks, and it's not going to be an issue. So nice attack, Jack. See there? Nice little rhyme there. Let's see, 16. This is going to be Reusser. I can't remember. I think he had a 6-pack this war too. He's going to start funneling with this baby dragon, who's obviously going to be raged because it's the only air troop there. And this golem's going to really walk to the mortar. I assume that was his plan, but it's a little bit of a stretch. I wouldn't have done that because you never know if that golem's going to come back towards that jump. It does in this case, so he got a little lucky. I didn't think it would walk that far to get to a jump around a corner like that. And you see these bowlers are going to take out this cannon at the bottom. But what he's doing here is he's going for 3 air defenses, and he's not likely to get to the Archer Queen. But he risks it. He's going to risk it for the biscuit and drop 3 hounds here at the bottom. And the AQ should be pretty focused on the hounds, so the pup should have no problem clearing her out in a little bit. So he's going to drop his haste now. And yeah, just as I thought, the pups are going to clear her out. And he had a ton of loons left. I would have saved a couple more. He used 1 for cleanup. Probably would have saved a couple more. He could have swagged that heal, or that haste spell as well. But great attack. Move on. Now we have Dustin Wood. He's also going to go with the Go Lava attack. Starting here at the bottom, I would have dropped that poison quicker, because you see that golem's already just destroyed. Jumps through here. His kill squad gets pretty deep. A little deeper than I expected it would, especially with the AQ not following it up. But what he uses here is why I showed this attack, is he's going to use a heal for his loons because of that whiz tower that's there. The whiz tower wasn't even focused on the loons, but sometimes if there's a cluster of whiz towers or something along those lines, you want to drop a heal there instead of maybe 2 haste or a rage spell or something like that. Might be a good idea. So the rest is just clean up from here. Here is Reusser's attack. And this base is a pretty interesting base. It's kind of like a fork that has 3 prongs here. And he's going to use a baby dragon to funnel. Drops 1 golem up top. Now remember, he was really happy about this attack. Right after he finished, he was real pumped up, but he's going to drop the jump any second now. There it is. And he gets a lot of defenses taken out with this kill squad. They're pretty dispersed, but these golems are doing a great job covering for the rest of the bowlers. Still has his AQ alive too. And now Reusser. He's going to take out the enemy AQ. And I think he knocked out, yeah, 3 air defenses are already knocked out too. So he's just going to wreck this base. I think he's going to end up with quite a few loons left. Yeah. Completely wrecks this base, and great attack from Bruiser. He's another one that had a 6-pack this war. And I'm just going to show 2 more. One from Menza, which I actually like this attack a lot. I don't like to give him a lot of credit because Menza is very arrogant, but I'm going to give him some credit. Really accentuating my butts in this when I'm talking. So let's see. He's going to start off with 2 golems, funnels them over here. And he drops, I don't know if you saw that, I shouldn't have hasted through that. But he drops a loon on this corner archer tower. And smart to drop a loon there because it's going to drop the bomb on it. And he takes out that archer tower before the CC is pulled. If you dropped a giant or something like that, it wouldn't have knocked out that archer tower. So he rages through on this side, and then up top he's going to use a couple of giants, or 7 giants. He's going to use a handful of these giants to cover for his hogs. And he splits them up, which is actually a pretty smart tactic. I like this attack a lot. So he doesn't have any heals for his hogs, but the giants do a good job of protecting them. You see this golem is walking around this ring right in a circle, and it really helps save the day. His AQ is 1 hit away from a fail. So a very close attack. Good job, Menza. Last attack I'm going to show. It's going to be Angel. My boy Angel gets this one with a Go Lava attack. Starts off with the funnel and drops that jump. So I think I was talking to him about this attack. We were playing it out together. He has me help him with some of his attacks. He's a pretty good attacker on these. And he's been doing a great job recently, so he's going to use some loons at the bottom. I would have hasted a little quicker than what he's doing. But he's still going to get this 3-star without too much difficulty. Yeah, he still has quite a few loons left. He has his final haste, and it's a 3-star. So yeah, it's a very tough matchup. War Addicts have a great team over there. Like I said, I think we should have been able to get 1 more star if our number 1 wasn't Jackass. But we also did come in with an advantage, so take it for what it is. But it was a great matchup, and hopefully we could have a couple more like that in the future. Like I said, we're about to be at 398 wins. So for our 400th win, we're going to be bringing in some former co-leaders that are elsewhere now, and then some of our family clan members. We're going to be doing a 50-50 war, so hopefully we have a good matchup. So stay tuned for that one.